Hello and welcome to Jazz After Dark, everybody. How you doing out there? I hope you're doing good. If I ever told you I love the night, like man, the nighttime. Any of you guys want to come to town, hang out, Clearwater Beach or whatever, and it's nighttime? I'm in. You will come by the office at 8 o'clock in the morning. Nah, not for me. Hey, anyways, we are financial advisors here at Jazz Wealth, and Jazz has an interesting sort of history, right? Not the music necessarily, but the name, right? So we call it Jazz Wealth because to be a jazz musician, you have to be the master of your instrument. You can't just play jazz if you're like learning how to play music, right? You have to be a master of all styles to play jazz. However, a master earns the right to be a little bit quirky. You know what I mean? Jazz musicians have funny sense of humors. They're a little bit flamboyant. They're just a little bit out there. And I always kind of pictured myself as that. And of course, aspire to be a master. I am going to answer a very, very basic question here tonight, but I'm going to give you three choices. And this is where this comes from. You're welcome to leave comments, questions that you have. You can send in emails to our support team and everything. We track the questions that come in. And because we're a small company and we can do that, it helps to see the trends of where people are getting a little bit stuck. And so we're going to answer the question, what do you do with that old 401k? You actually have three choices of what you can do. There's one that's okay. There's one that I'm a little biased about. And then there's one that none of you should be doing. So hopefully we'll save you from making a mistake there. Tonight, we're finishing up the Representative Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. I believe this was the same mash bill as Weller's. So it's very good. Very good. I have no complaints about that. Sort of reminds me of Disney World. I don't know. All right. Let's say you leave your job. This is the key criteria. You have to be what's known as separated from service. That's the fancy thing that they say. You have to quit, get fired, or retire, right? And so when you leave, if you have an account that starts with a 401k, 403b, 401a, 457, well, you could do something with it. You don't have to do anything with it. However, you are probably in a better position to do something with it rather than just leave it sit there. Most people are not very happy with the investments they have inside those 4 plans. And so they're looking to do something with it. All right. Tip number 1, or the first thing that you can do, if you're starting a new job and they have a 401k, you can just move it into that. So for example, I'll use a real simple one. You're moving from Target to Walmart. I don't know, right? I just know that they both have 401ks, so I'm just giving an example. You quit Target, you go to Walmart, they have a plan. Once you get that 401k open, you can simply just fill out, it's about a form and a half to move the 401k from Target over to Walmart. The reason I'm a little bit biased, I don't really care for this option because you're limited in the choices that you have, like your investment options. And personally, I'm biased because I want the world at my fingertips. I want any and all available options when it comes to my investments, whether they're retirement, short-term, long-term, whatever it is. I want all the choices I can get. Well, with Walmart, you left Target, you went to Walmart. With Walmart, you essentially have a list of about 30 options, but to be fair, about 10 to 15 of those are essentially all the same thing. So I'm a little biased here. I do not suggest moving it from one 401k to the other unless you just love the options that come with your new 401k. All right. So step 1, you leave your company. You're officially separated from service. That means you are off the payroll, no longer getting any paychecks there. Move it over to your new 401k. Step 2, I'm also a little bit biased here because we're a wealth management company. We work with all sizes of investors. We kind of hope you keep us in mind. Fidelity, blah. Vanguard, blah. Schwab, blah. Right? Merrill Lynch, Raymond James, Franklin Templeton. They're big guys, right? We hope you keep us in mind. But step 2 is to actually move it into an IRA. Now, putting my sales bias off to the side, this is my pick. Even if you don't choose us, right? Think about what this does. You left your job. You moved the 401k into an IRA. You just became the sole decision maker when it comes to that account. How many of you have ever tried to make a withdrawal from your 401k, take a hardship loan, do a 401k loan, whatever, and you got to go through a gatekeeper to get your own money? I don't like that. So that's number one. You move it into an IRA, you make the decision. If it's a poor decision, it's up to you. If it's a great decision, you did it. Congratulations, right? That's number one. The second reason I love this is because anything and everything is available. Not collectibles and antiques and classic cars and stamps and art and things like that. Weird things. But anything, any stock, any ETF, any small business, any property, any real estate, commercial, residential, whatever, you can do anything you want with this. And it's totally up to you to make that decision. If you're working with us, of course, I'll nudge you in the right direction because we're fiduciaries and we don't benefit from you going this way or this way or this way, whatever's best for you. So that's my favorite. Move it into an IRA, get control of the money. If you want to move it then to a Roth, or you want to invest in a small business down the road, you want to buy your favorite stock and just go gangbusters and see if they hit it big. Okay, I may not agree, but that's what you can do. You're not limited to the menu of choices that they give you, which also come with the menu of fees that they give you as well. So that's number two. Number one, you move it to the new 401k. Number two, you move it over to an IRA matching. Let's say number two, part B. If you have a 401k, it has to go into a traditional IRA. Well, you want it to go into one. If you have a Roth 401k, you want it to go into a Roth IRA. This ensures that there's no fees, taxes, penalties, IRS knocking on your door, anything like that. All right, so that's part 2B. The third thing that you can do with a 401k, regardless of if you are over the age of 59 and a half or under or well over, well under, whatever, is just cash it out. Just take the money. It's not a good idea. This is my least favorite of all the options, okay? Because if you're under the age of 59 and a half and you just cash that sucker out, whether it's $2,000, $20,000, or $200,000, you have to pay tax on that money plus a 10% penalty on the full amount, right? A lot of people think, oh, if I take out $20,000, I withhold 20% in tax, right? So that leaves me with what, $16,000. I only pay 10% penalty on that. No, it's the whole thing. You pay the whole 10% penalty. If you're over the age of 59 and a half, well, this gets tricky because if you're 64 years old and you cash out, whether it be, purposefully or accidentally, a 401k, let's say it's $100,000, you withhold your tax and all that great stuff. You might have just screwed yourself when it comes to Medicare, when it comes to when you take Social Security. The IRMAA surcharge maybe has that 2-year look back, right? Well, you might have just reported all kinds of extra income on paper and you would have got a better deal, right? So we never just want to cash it out, both for the penalty and for strategic tax planning going forward. I am a big, and I mean about as big as you can get, proponent of pay the tax you're supposed to, not what you calculate you're going to pay, right? The IRS is the weirdest thing in the world. They don't tell you the tax that you owe. You're supposed to calculate it all up and go, here you go. And they say, well, thank you, right? Pay whatever you're supposed to pay legally, use every advantage that you can use, and then quietly walk away. Do not pay more tax than you need to. And by taking or cashing out a 401k, you're paying more tax than you need to. If you need the money, you might have been better off just taking a loan or going a different direction and maybe trying to find a more strategic way of getting that money out. Anyways, now you could tell the anger in my eyeballs there when it comes to taxes. Anyways, I hope you check us out, jazzwealth.com. This was a quick one tonight. Sometimes I address questions that I may have taken for granted that are kind of basic, but I want to give you the options so you know what to do. If you'd like more of that good information, keep watching more videos on our channel, all kinds of good stuff there, and I will wish you a good evening, almost morning at this point. That's how we roll. Adios.